All right, welcome to one of your first videos for honors statistics. I'm going to take a little time to talk with you about the material that's in the first two chapters from the textbook that hopefully, if you haven't read it, you're going to read very soon. One of the key things I want to stress is that, especially since we're going to be meeting so infrequently to discuss these concepts, that you're going to have to really rely on the videos that I provide, but also reading the text, because you're going to find out pretty quickly that this course is unlike any other math course that you have experienced so far in your math career. So let's talk a little bit about these slides that I created. Again, if you've already read chapters 1 and 2, this will seem very familiar. If you haven't, after you watch this video, go ahead and take 20 minutes, 15 minutes to read through chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is only a few pages. Chapter 2 is less than 10 pages. So take the time to start now, building that good habit of reading the textbook. All right, so let's start first talking about what is statistics. So really, we're going to talk about it in two ways. The first way is just in this broad idea of the course that you're taking, which is hopefully going to help you learn tools and methods that will ultimately help you understand better what's going around you in the world. When we actually calculate or use, most likely going to use the technology of some websites to make calculations for us, that would be the other use of the word statistics. So the way we're going to find those statistics is going to be using data values. And the key thing with data values is there must be a context. We'll get into that more particularly in chapter 2. Also, one thing that's you're going to find about statistics is that the whole discipline of statistics was created because of this world we live in creates so much variation. So statistics is all about trying to the best of our abilities to measure and quantify that variation. Okay, so the three main ways we're going to go about doing this is in 3 steps, where we're going to think first what we know, what we want to know, and why we want to know it. And then we're going to start showing. So that's the work that we do, the calculating of some statistics, maybe some graphical displays. That show part is going to be something that you're most familiar with because that will feel like math. And then the tell part, this is where you're going to explain what you've actually figured out with your mathematics. And this is something that you may or may not have had to do in previous math classes, where you're going to actually write some sentences. And then when we get into the very end of the school year in quarter 4, you're going to see that one problem is going to be like a page worth of work, lots of writing. All right, so let's talk about moving into chapter 2. So again, if you've read the textbook, the rest of these slides are from chapter 2. So this is first talking about data. So you guys have experienced data. It can be numbers, names of records, other labels, but not all data is represented by numbers is numerical data. So just keep that in mind. And ultimately, we must know context about the data. And you're going to see that when I bring in problems with actual data from real life something, that it's going to make a lot more sense than just data given to us by a textbook. So the main thing I want to go about over the rest of this video is the 5 W's. All right, so it's the who, what, when, where, and why. And then ultimately, if you can answer the question how also, that's a bonus. But I want to make it very clear that the who and the what, if you don't have those, then you can't really proceed to actually answer any questions about this data. So all the other stuff, the when, where, why, and how, are not required. You probably are going to know the why. It might just be as simple as your boss told you to answer the question. But ultimately, you should be able to answer the who and the what if you want to move forward. Okay, so let's start with the who. All right, so this is going to be the who of the data that tells us the individual cases for which we've collected the data. So if you're talking about a survey, which is very common, the individuals are called respondents. If you're looking at an experiment, then people used in experiments are called subjects or participants. If you're using animals or other objects, then we use the term experimental units. For the what and the why, let's start with the what first. The what are the variables, which are the characteristics that are recorded about whatever your who is. And the key thing here is that once you determine what the variables are, go ahead and take the extra few minutes to decide if your variables are categorical or quantitative, right? And you'll know that they're quantitative because you'll be able to come up with a unit of measurement that they're using to quantify that variable. If you can't think of a unit, then it's most likely that it is a categorical variable. Finally, the last of the W's, the where, when, and how. These are just bonus ones. If you can think of them or it's given in the problem, that's awesome. If not, it's not a big deal. You can make something up or you can just put not listed. Again, we're going to do some examples in another video where it's totally okay to write not listed because these examples are very brief, but you can also think of plausible answers for the when, where, when, and how. All right. So again, if you have not had a chance to read chapters 1 and 2, go ahead and stop watching this video now and get into that textbook, get used to it. I think it has some little funny anecdotes that you might enjoy.